Innotech 2008 Malaysia. So John, your position of Director, Developer and Platform Evangelism sounds pretty cool. Could you please explain a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I have one of the coolest jobs at Microsoft. I get to work with venture capital, startup, student, entrepreneur, and government communities that are interested in how we grow local software economies,
Right.
how we create those centers of innovation, how we help young minds, young entrepreneurs go to market.
Like me.
Yeah,
Okay.
and how we identify technologies that are going to help people,
Right.
both all aspects of society. So I have a team of developers, a team of evangelists, and myself, our personal passion, and we work with different markets to make that all happen.
That's very cool. So, just another question. Microsoft recently started the Microsoft BizSpark program.
Right.
And my company is one of the pioneers company in Malaysia, right, at the moment. How will it help young entrepreneurs like me through that program? What benefit will it give us?
Yes, I'm very excited about BizSpark. It's something that we've been working on. As I said, I just arrived in Singapore about 3 months ago. So one of the projects that I was working on before I left Seattle was to get BizSpark up and running. And it solves a problem, or one problem that we've been concerned about for a long time. And it's to get in the hands of young entrepreneurs our software. And we know that for small companies, our software is expensive. And for their needs, it's going to be almost too expensive. So I said, well, why can't we provide very, very, very low cost application development, infrastructure management, and actual production software to select startups? So the first thing that BizSpark does is it provides low cost software, all of the Microsoft products, for developing and taking your product to market, to select startups who are less than $1 million in revenue, less than 3 years old, and are privately held. The second thing is, beyond the software, the exciting thing about BizSpark is that we're getting community involved. So it's very open to government, to venture capital, to hosters, to academia, whoever else wants to be involved as part of the ecosystem. So it goes beyond just providing free software, but saying also, come here, let us help you with resources, let us help you with some guidance, let us help you with access. So for example, having an MDEC associated with us, or in Singapore we have the equivalent of an MDEC, or the development authorities, or the universities. That's the second problem it solves. The third thing that it does is it creates some excitement. We really want to create some excitement around startups and entrepreneurship. Yeah. It's a tough market right now. There's not a lot of venture capital out there. Yes. How do we get people excited? And over the next few months, we're going to be launching activities like here in Microsoft in Malaysia. We do regular events. It's people like you who are advocates, people who are you that'll be the evidence.
Yes.
So that's what my goal with BizSpark is really to sort of create excitement, help provide some resources, and then identify those 1 or 2 or 3 winners, the success stories from Malaysia.
Okay.
Homegrown.
Okay. Hopefully, our company will be one of them.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting to know that you're now currently based in Singapore for like 3 months ago, right?
Smooth. Yeah.
In that 3 months, what can you see the difference between Singapore and Malaysia in terms of the IT industry? Could you see some difference? Which one is better, in your view?
They both have unique characteristics. I mean, I've been to Malaysia 3 or 4 times, and I've been to Singapore probably 10 times before I actually moved to Singapore. So the point that I made, Malaysia's got a very rich infrastructure as far as government investment. So the things that through Mustapha you have the MSC and the MDEC sort of funds that are there for early stage companies, very impressive. I think one of the challenges that entrepreneurs have here is the number of venture capitalists. So Series A, B, and on beyond is something that maybe we have a little bit more of in Singapore just because it's a regional hub.
Right.
I see both countries having a strong degree of government support, and also the academics that I've talked to have been pretty excited about it. The other thing that Singapore does not have that Malaysia has is the market. You've got a huge country, right? 22 plus 26 million people, something in that neighborhood. Where Singapore, it's a country of 4 million.
Yeah.
So Singapore, anything they do, they got to scale. They got to go overseas. Here, at least you have a domestic market to look at. I think both of us, both Malaysia and Singapore, are going to have challenges because even if Malaysia's 25 million people, it's still not that big.
Yeah.
So how do we then access Southeast Asia, Asia Pacific, and then global markets?
Right.
And that's again something that our team focuses on not for everybody because we're just not big enough, but for a few small companies.
Sure. I've got one last question from you.
Sure.
I'm going to read from a script here. Okay, here it goes. The President-elect Barack Obama plans to have the first CTO for the United States. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, the president and the Congress have had advisory councils for technology for a number of years, and we've had Microsoft and sort of industry friends be part of those councils for many years. I think it's only natural for the president-elect to have that type of approach because we are living in a very digital world.
Right.
If you think of people like Barack Obama, he's a 45-year-old man, so he's lived his whole life with technology. You know, in 1962 or 63, when he was born, that's when the first microprocessors were put on a chip and sort of made available. So he's our generation, or within 10, 15 years of many of us. So I think it's only natural. I think having a CTO is a good way to sort of to demonstrate how important technology is, but it's only a starting point. The CTO, he or she needs to focus in on the future, so students and entrepreneurship. They also need to address the big issues around security and privacy and child safety on the internet, things like that. So I'm excited. He's got a huge choice of good people to choose from. That's what's exciting as well.
That's true.
And I guess it's a question of how we can sort of influence the past technologies to make an impact on the future, and also bring forward emerging technologies to help change the world. So all these changes that we were talking about, bettering the world of people who are disempowered, people who are sort of uneducated or lack access to education, people who have never seen technology and can't use it in their day-to-day life. How do we sort of make that a centerpiece of this change he's talking about?
Well, thank you very